Good evening, Jets Nation. Welcome to the first episode of the Jets Duo Show, joined by my co-host, Italy Jet. How's it going, man?
It's been a very long day, but I'm happy to be talking Jets with you, Jude. We had a great connection earlier this week, and we're going to keep it going. Not only are we going to keep it going, we got a lot to talk about.
Oh, yeah. We definitely do. Last week, we pulled off our first division win since 2019 against the Miami Dolphins, beat them 40-17. Huge fourth
Mm-hmm.
quarter performance by the New York Jets. We're going to be
Right.
talking about that today, along with this week's upcoming matchup against the Green Bay Packers. Of
Yeah.
course, it's going to be an interesting one where the Fox game of the week with Greg Olson on the call. A lot of
True.
heads pointing in the Jets' directions. We've been moving up a lot on the power rankings, and the Green
Mm-hmm.
Bay Packers are coming off of a loss. They're just traveling in from London, so we could definitely use that to our advantage as well. And of course, we're going to be talking about a certain Jets rookie winning rookie of the week this week. I'm sure all of you guys know who that was, but it's going to be a fantastic show. So, you ready to? All right, before we start with our first topic, we gotta go ahead and plug our social medias. Of course, you can find all of my stuff linked down below in the description. This is of course on my channel, so you can find all of my other content, by just scrolling down a little and finding my, little logo. But of course, our co-host, Italy Jet, go ahead and plug anything you want, man.
Jude, thank you for all that. Appreciate you. I am Italy Jet Gino Antonio Pagano. I have all my social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Everything MYJ and Italy Jet on YouTube as well. Those four, and also I'm trying to get a little bit TikTok. Trying. It's a little difficult right now, but I'm going for it. So we'll see what happens. And guess what? I got this, baby. Italy Jet. I've always wanted to do this. Always wanted to do this, and now I do. And what's up, Sauce? I got you.
And of course, you can find all of our links down below in the description, or at least most of them. I try to get all as I can. If I left out any,
Mm-hmm.
y'all guys just let us know down in the comments. But of course, most of our links will be down below. But of course, let's go ahead and get the show started. And of course, that chain
Let's
is
go.
absolutely fantastic, man. So, first topic. The New York Jets squished the Fish for the first time since the 2019 game, whenever we won on a Sam Ficken field goal. That was a season when
Right.
the New York Jets went 7-9. If we could
Right.
have a similar record this season, that would obviously be huge. And we of course beaten a lot harder opponents than we ever did in that 2019 season. So New York Jets are 3-2, obviously with that huge win against the Dolphins. And we had a lot of good performances in last week's win. Of course, we saw Brees Hall have 197 all-purpose yards. We saw the New York Jets pass rush get to Skylar Thompson a lot. Sauce Gardner got his first ever interception. And of course, we scored 21 fourth quarter points, which of course helped us win by the sizable margin we did. I mean, heading into that fourth quarter, the New York Jets were only winning by 2 points. It was a 19-17 game, and then just had that dominant fourth quarter performance like we did Sunday was absolutely huge. And we also had a very similar fourth quarter performance against the Pittsburgh Steelers. We scored 14 points, and that of course helped us get the win. So, what were your overall thoughts? Who was your standout player? Just let all of your positive emotions from last week's win against the Miami Dolphins just all out. We're normally used to ranting about the New York Jets,
We are.
especially in
Oh,
week
we are.
six.
Oh, we
But
are.
it's week six and we're talking positive. Huge things turning around. So just lay it all out, man.
Oh, well, you know what? I was really impressed with the way Zach Wilson handled himself in the fourth quarter. First quarter he did pretty good as well, but it's always the second and third quarter that I really haven't been really impressed with. So I'm happy that he did what he had to do to get to that point, and it worked out really well. I think overall, what I'm happy with is the defense. We shut Hill down and
Oh, yeah.
Waddle down, and I was super happy about that. That's what I want to see day in and day out against the top wide receivers in the game. We weren't really that great against the run though, but it was better than expected. It was better than I thought, and overall, I'm really happy right now. I think we're getting the O line figured out. With Carter and Hall have been doing very nice. I hope Whitehead and Joyner, I hope they get it together again. And linebackers have been great. Quan has just been bailing us out, not having Quincy there. And Mosley, I love what Mosley's bringing to the table, but it's one of those things where I love Quan better in this situation. Overall, there's a lot of positive things and negative things, but overall, I really like where this team is going. We are hitting these teams at the right time. I know me and you have talked about the Packers and Broncos, and it's one of those things we're hitting them at the right time because the chemistry with those teams are not there yet for them. So if we can hit them at the right time and win, that would be great. But going back to the Dolphins game, sorry, I went off track a little bit. Dolphins game, it was everything that I expected from the Jets because we needed to get a spark in there. We needed something done in the beginning and at the end because we always make it interesting at the end. They had a chance to come back. Dolphins had a chance to come back, like in the third quarter, but we did it. We annihilated them. So I'm really happy with that, and I hope we continue to see growth.
And I mean, I've been saying this entire week on, my Let's Talk Sports shows. I even said it in my post-game video. The same old Jets would have lost this football game. And, I'm honestly, if the New York Jets teams from this decade alone, we probably would be 0-5 right now. I mean, every single
100%.
game we've won this season has been because of our fourth quarter play. We would have not seen that from Jets teams, honestly, these past 2 decades, except for that 2015 team, and of course the Jets teams from, earlier in last decade. But outside of that, this definitely would have been a game that an Adam Gase-led Jets team, a Todd Bowles-led Jets team would have lost. But we're not that same old team anymore. And, a few other things I want to talk about. The offensive line, they stepped up big in this game. Miami didn't really have this big opposing pass rush heading into this one, but the offensive line definitely has looked rough this season, and for them to step up the way they did, keep Zach Wilson really well protected, that was obviously huge. And, Dwayne Brown coming back, it definitely helped out the New York Jets a lot as well, both in the pass protection and in the run game. I feel like we really got that run game going because Dwayne Brown is back. And I said in my week 1 preview video, Dwayne Brown and Laken Tomlinson are going to be just run blocking superbs on the left side of the line, and they were able to, put out a really good run blocking performance this past week against the Miami Dolphins. So we got a couple comments in the building. Let's go ahead and check. My boy Tatum in here saying it's a Michael Carter jersey in the back. For real. I think it is. Bought it for $50 off a pristine auction, so hoping that it is.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I get stuff from there too. I mean, I think they're real. They're real.
Oh yeah. Now, as far as the signature real, I definitely would think it's real. But as for the jersey, a little no front action here.
Yeah,
that jersey's not real at all. But definitely, it's not signature. It's authentic. Definitely true. And then we got my boy John in the building here saying Rodgers has a thumb injury on his throwing can. He will still play. Comment cut off. But definitely the thumb injury definitely is going to be something to monitor this week because, last week we saw, Teron Armstead. He had an injury heading into that game. He did, of course, practice. Now, he didn't practice that entire week. He did manage to end up playing. So Rodgers is a little bit more healthier than Armstead in the sense that he's now practicing. But you never know. Maybe, Aaron Rodgers' injuries could bother him enough in this game to where the New York Jets can definitely take advantage of that. Maybe we end up re-injuring Rodgers and he leaves this game, leaving the Packers to play Jordan Love. So you never know what could happen, and the injury is definitely going to be something to monitor. But this will lead us well. But first, do you have any, other thoughts with the Jets squishing the fish?
When their Thompson came in, he was the best quarterback in preseason. and it was and people were excited about him, right?
Right.
I think for me, we needed to do what we needed to do. It's a division rival game. We hate each other.
Right.
The Dolphins and Jets, they hate each other. If you really want to tell me that Dolphins and Jets like each other, or the Bills and Jets like each other, you're full of crap. Like there's no way. This is a division AFC East matchup in your own division. You go out there and kick their butt. You go out there with that fire that Sal has been saying. You go out there with the players have been telling them and want to root for them. And not only that, they want to play for him. We did what we had to do against Hill, Waddle, and not only that, if we can get Quincy back this weekend, I mean, like we're gonna kick some butt. It's not only that though; it's JJ. I'm worried about JJ, but like, hopefully it's not way too serious. But with the Dolphins, they couldn't shut down a running game for anything. They are the worst team in the league to shut down the running game, and we exploded with Hall and Carter. Everyone keeps saying, no, I mean, not everyone. I shouldn't say everyone. Some people say Carter is just not worth it anymore. He's just an RB2. No, 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 no. Hall is still an RB1, and Carter is an RB1 too. Like, these guys can still get it done. Hall can just, if you toss it to Hall on the side or this other side, he will do his thing, go around, and then he'll stop at the 1 yard line. You know what I mean? He just won't go in there, man. Just get in there. But overall, Carter is very good in the red zone. And I love our 1-2 punch with those guys. If Zach Wilson continues to not go backwards, we're in trouble because he needs to stop scrambling backwards. He needs to continue to go on the side and just keep running and throwing it. But it's only going to get better. I really do. If we can avoid the injury bug, then I think we're going to be okay.
Oh yeah, 100%. Zach Wilson, according to Pro Football, well, obviously according to Pro Football Focus because I'm using their grades, but he had a
Yes.
92 PFF grade thrown from a clean pocket in Sunday's game against the Dolphins. That's pretty much perfection. So if we
I
can
agree.
keep Zach Wilson off the ground, and if we can keep this run game, continuing, and if it can keep on getting better and better, which it will with Dwayne Brown back and with Brees Hall
Agreed.
continually
Agreed.
developing as a rookie, this team, this offense can definitely explode. So I feel like that's all. Well, we do have a comment from John right here saying, I remember when the Jets passed on Marino in the draft. Well, luckily we found ourselves our own Marino and Zach Wilson. But I feel like it's a great time to move on to our biggest key to victories against the Green Bay Packers. So, of course, talked
Okay.
about it a little intro, but we have a huge matchup this week against the Packers. It is Fox's game of the week. Interesting, it's not in the afternoon time slate, but nonetheless, it is the Fox's week of the game. Pretty much every single TV in the NFL or in the nation is going to be tuned into this game if, of course, they don't want to watch their local team or whatever's on CBS. But chances are everybody's going to be tuning in to this week's matchup against the Jets and Packers. All eyes are going to be on us. A lot of people are sitting here saying that the New York Jets don't have a lot of pressure on us, and which I agree with. But, I definitely feel like we're trying to prove something in this game. A lot of people are kind of saying, well, the New York Jets are going up against mediocre quarterbacks, and Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle would have popped off if they had Teddy Bridgewater or
Tua. Yeah.
something like that. They're using a lot of excuses, and
Yeah.
to be honest, I feel like the New York Jets are kind of taking that the wrong way. Robert Saleh's keeping his receipts, and I feel like they just want to go out here and prove that they are a good team and they can beat a good quarterback in Aaron Rodgers. I mean, if we beat the Green Bay Packers, I don't know what the excuses can be. I mean, first off, yeah, I mean, they're without Sammy Watkins. I mean, if somebody uses that as an excuse, I mean, come on now. Just give the New York Jets credit for winning.
Yeah. He's a freaking injury prone guy. I mean, he was good, but like he's injury prone and they're still trying to figure it out. They're still trying to figure it out. They're not connecting in chemistry. The only thing that I'm worried about is their running game. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
But we can get their offensive line's not that great. They do have a good offensive line, but we are getting after it. Like we just got to continue to do and please, Salah, I love you, man. I really do. I'm not calling for your name yet, but don't bench Huff. Please, please don't bench Huff. Huff is one of your bright spots on that defense, and the keys to victory is get after Rodgers early, stop the running game, just annihilate them on Quan Alexander and Whitehead's side, along with Sauce and Reed. Because Sauce and Reed are the best duo in my mind in the NFL. They are kicking butt right now. Sauce, let's get another interception. Interception.
And this Packers passing offense definitely is one that we can stop. And as you said, the running game is just really the only thing that is worrying me, because last week we weren't able to stop Miami's rushing attack, especially in the first quarter. Second half, we were able to shut it down, but on the day they did have 137 yards. And, entering that matchup, Dolphins were not a good running team whatsoever. I know a lot of people are starting to say that Raheem Mostert starting to become this Dolphins running back one, and of course we'll continue to see, or we'll see if that, continues to be the thing, and hopefully it is, but better, the excuses for Miami, that's the type of excuses we want. But I do feel like a reason to why we kind of struggle to stop the run was simply because we weren't expecting a lot of it. I mean, as I said, Miami was one of the worst rushing teams in the NFL heading into the game against the Jets. And then whenever Teddy Bridgewater gets hurt, they put in a fourth-string quarterback in Skylar Thompson. Obviously, you're not going to expect a whole lot of passing from him. And I feel like the run could have threw the New York Jets kind of offsides a little. But then in the second half, of course, we were able to stop it really well. So this week, we just definitely have to be on our A game, stopping the run. Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon haven't been, super dominant this year, but we know the talent we have, and we know they can definitely change the game. And for the love of God, Robert Saleh, don't bench Bryce Hubb. This dude has been fantastic in the snaps he's got in this season. But what is our biggest, we've talking about the Packers game. We've kind of talked about some things we need to do to win this one. But what is the biggest key to victory going to be against the Green Bay Packers? We'll start off with you.
Got to get to Rodgers early. Got to stop the running game. LaFleur's going to come out all in. They even Rodgers said in his press conference today, he is going to be ready for a good stride to come happening. Because whenever they go in those strides, they are unbeatable. So I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it, and I really think if we get after him early, their defense is not that great. So I think that we can get after him right now. And not only that, it's one of those things where, we're going to pro. I mean, he's a Pro Bowler, he's an MVP. You never count him out, right? So you got to get after him early, and he can scramble too. It's just he just has no wide receivers. Shut down the wide receivers, he's got nothing.
Oh yeah, I mean definitely. Aaron Rodgers is that Green Bay Packers offense. Sure, they have Aaron Jones. Sure, they have A.J. Dillon, but this is a dude that's been an MVP the past 2 years. This dude is one of the best quarterbacks in NFL history. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, if you can get in his head, we know how Aaron Rodgers can get. We know this dude gets a little cranky. So if we can get in Rodgers' head, if we can continuously get to him, and if Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed can play good defense like they've been this entire season, the New York Jets definitely could stop the Packers. Now, my biggest key to victory, and you kind of touched upon it a little, you're saying their defense isn't really good, and I agree. That Packers defense, which is currently 5th best in the NFL right now, is definitely overrated. I mean, their passing defense is only allowing 177 yards per game. They're 2nd best in the NFL. But the quarterbacks they faced haven't really been that good. I mean, week 1, they faced the Minnesota Vikings, Kirk Cousins. That passing attack is awesome, and the Packers struggle to stop it. Week 2, they went up against the Bears. Their passing attack is terrible, and of course, they weren't able to stop it. Week 3, they went up against the Buccaneers. Tom Brady was without his top 3 receivers, and he still almost threw for 300 yards. Week 4, they went up against Bailey Zappi, a 3rd-string quarterback for the Patriots, and they were able to stop him. obviously, in the week 5, they went up against the Giants and the crippled Daniel Jones and that. Not the crippled Daniel Jones, but he was kind of hurt, but that crippled Giants wide receiver room, and they were able to do a so-so job of stopping it. They're definitely overrated in the sense that they really haven't played a lot of good offenses this season, and whenever they have, they were able to stop. They weren't able to stop them. Week 1 against the Vikings
Right,
ran all over the Packers. So the New
right.
York Jets need to come in here and make a statement about the Packers offense, not offense, defense, excuse me, especially that passing defense. Zach Wilson's just going to need to come out here and fire on all cylinders. If he could throw for 300 yards, that would obviously be huge. But the Jets have the most talented wide receiver room Green Bay's faced since week 1. And their running defense also is allowing 126 yards per game. Last week, the New York Jets had 135 yards on the ground. Brees Hall,
Yeah.
Michael Carter, they're going to need to continue that dominant performance they had last week and just
Mm.
keep on rushing all over the Packers. So that my biggest key to victory in this one's definitely going to just need to be a step up from the offense. And let's go ahead and take a look at some comments right here. So John's saying that Zach needs to play well against the Heroes. He did well against Brady last year, and Zach had Barrios as his number one. I definitely agree, John. He hasn't really faced, a whole lot of amazing quarterbacks this season, but he went up against Brady. He outplayed him with Braxton Barrios as his wide receiver number one, Kenny Yeboah as the starting tight end, and Tevin Coleman as his, running back in that game. We were also without like half of our starting offensive line in that one. So, yeah, Zach Wilson needs to continue this playing good against heroes. Aaron Rodgers, as I said, one of the best quarterbacks in NFL history. Maybe, Zach Wilson can continue this weirdly good play against these legend quarterbacks. What do you think?
Well, it's really funny because you mentioned playing with legendary quarterbacks, right? Zach Rodgers thinks Zach Wilson is going to be one of the best NFL QBs in the game soon. I mean, they had the joint practice last year, or it was a couple years ago. Last year, a couple years ago. They had a joint practice, and everyone was like, "Don't even deserve to be where Rodgers is at right now. They don't even deserve to be in the same room." Hey man, if Rodgers keeps saying all this stuff that's good about Zach Wilson, why not? So for everything that Zach is doing when he plays against his heroes like Brady, I mean he's going to be number one. I agree. He's going to step up in every way possible. He has already proved that he can close games out. Okay, they're not going to look pretty, you know, first, second, and third quarter. The fourth quarter, he's proved us that he can close games, and that's very important. Spread it out, spread out the running backs, get the tight ends more involved. I know me and you talked about that before. But if he can just continue to spread out and scramble right or left and go for a touchdown like he wants to, he gives us a heart attack when he went through that end zone last week. I was like, oh God, I thought he was hurt. But every time he continues to do that, that's showing the power that he has. Just like when he says in the huddle, "I want to go get a fucking touchdown." He did. I love hearing that. I love seeing that.
Yeah, to definitely see that, one of the best quarterbacks in the game, and Aaron Rodgers, is speaking so highly of Zach Wilson. It's
Right.
obviously huge to see. People are saying Zach Wilson's the baby Rodgers. And with him, throwing
Right.
all these passes, scrambling a lot, it'd be awesome to see. And, I don't know why the NFL didn't put this game on prime time instead of Bears and Commanders, Baby Rodgers versus
I
Rodgers. I
know.
mean, that would have been such a good tagline, something to bring in these viewers. But the NFL just decides to put it on two teams in a not so great place right now. I just don't really see what NFL is going for. But let's transition into our next topic. Sauce winning rookie of the week. Was he the best rookie on the field last week? No, but he still won it. Congratulations to Sauce Gardner. Getting your first interception, obviously huge. Rocking the Italy Jet inspired Sauce chain. The drip is unreal, man. It looks awesome.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate that. Um, it came down between Brees and Sauce, and you know what? I think Sauce deserves this one. I think Brees had his moment. He's going to get a lot more moments. Sauce is going to get a lot more moments, but especially when it's his first interception of the NFL, it's always extra special. I'm very happy for him, and we're not done with that yet.
Oh
So
no.
it's going to continue to grow, and I love it.
And Sauce has a lot of pass deflections right now. And if he
Right.
can, just turn some of those PDs into interceptions, that would be huge.
Ha!
So just great to see, Sauce Gardner winning the Rookie of the Week. And through 5 weeks of the season so far, the New York Jets
Right.
have had 3 Rookie of the Week winners. And everybody's saying
Nice.
this Jets draft class was going to be legendary. And through 5 weeks, we have 3 of the NFL's Rookie of the Week winners. You don't get that from a bad draft class. So obviously, huge to see that the New York Jets rookies have been balling out so far this season. And if the New
Right.
York Jets have a Rookie of the Week candidate on the ballot, chances are Jets Twitter's going to vote for them and get them the win.
Well, it's not only that; it's the rookies are much better than the actual players right now on the team. The rookies have stepped up and bailed us out in the first few weeks. So it's one of those things where I just want to see it grow, could continue to be the kind of rookies that they want to be. And Quinnen has stepped up too. These rookies are very special. You can see why he only drafted until the fourth round of this year. It's paying off. Everything that he's doing right now is paying off.
And you mentioned the fourth round. The guys we picked in that fourth round have also been
Right,
paying off for us so far this season. Max
right,
Mitchell, he just went on IR, but whenever he was playing, I mean, first off,
right.
if I would have told you in April that Max Mitchell, our fourth round rookie pick, was going to be starting week one against the Ravens, what would you have told me? I mean, that's crazy.
I would have said, honestly, I would have said it's the Jets. Anything is possible because the Jets always do things that's not either necessarily right and it's wrong too. Like it's always 50-50. So if we were talking about it, I would have been like, yeah, I could see it. The Salah, who would have thought Salah would switch JVT back to left tackle, and now he's probably going back to he's a right tackle now. So it's anything's possible with these guys.
Oh,
Anything
yeah.
is possible.
I mean, the injuries at tackle, we knew it was not going to be. I mean, we knew it would eventually kind of come out to hurt us with, George Fant tearing the ACL at the end of the year and, Mekhi Becton, having the injury, that he
Right.
did last year. So, we
Right.
knew it would come up to hurt us maybe a little. I wasn't expecting, Mekhi Becton to get that season-ending injury. And, I, of course, wasn't expecting Dwayne Brown to get hurt as soon as he walked into the Jets facility. But, definitely wouldn't have expected Max Mitchell to play. But then we've also seen Michael Clemens, who, we all joked about, saying this dude was a beast. But, a lot of hype was there. A lot of people were, really thinking that this dude could be one of the next best edge rushers in the NFL and saying that he
Right.
fell because of, the weak charges he had at A&M, which definitely could have been true. We, of course, don't know what's going on in the heads of these NFL general managers, but to me, after the Clemens pick, I was kind of confused why we took another edge rusher. It was a really strong suit for the Jets,
Right.
but the pick, he hasn't got a whole lot of snaps, but he's well, at least in week 4, he was Pro Football Focus's second highest graded rookie edge rusher. So we just seen great things from Clemens so far, and this rookie class is just really turning out to be huge for us.
Right.
And you have any other thoughts? Because that about wraps up, what we're talking about today.
Honestly, like I just really want him to get more opportunities. I think Clemens needs to get more opportunities. I think Martin needs to get more opportunities. It's and they need to show us why we're here with that. Overall, they switch them in and out. Olbrook always switches everything, in and out, and I get that, but it's one of those things where you got to stick with the hot hand. And if you're going to try something, you know, switch Lawson to the right to the other side. JFM stick there. Puts Clemens to replace Lawson. Get after these guys. Like these guys have the talent in the world. This front line is honestly it's one of the most expensive front four with all the other guys in the game.
Oh yeah.
They gotta play, but we gotta stick with the hot hand overall. So I want to see more guys involved. I want to see more like maybe Huff going to linebacker eventually. I want to see chemistry. more and more chemistry. I think we're almost there, but we're not there yet. But if Sasuke continued to win Rookie of the Week, I mean, hey, I'm good with that, you know. But then we got Hall too, I'm good with that too. But consistency and chemistry, that's what I'm looking for coming out of Lambeau. Lambeau's going to be hot. It's going to be interesting. Jude, what is your prediction?
So my prediction, I think now little throwback right here in
Okay,
my
throwback. Give me a throwback.
schedule prediction video or my record prediction video after the schedule release back in like May, I
Mm.
predicted that the New York Jets, every year or at least since 2020, we for some reason pull off this crazy upset. And I mean, even going back to like a year like 2017, whenever we
Right,
beat the Kansas City Chiefs, I mean, just middle of the season, randomly beat them. Who thought that was going to happen? Like the New York Jets just always, like every season, seem to beat a team that's much better than us. Of course, last year we beat the Bengals, we beat the Titans. The god awful
right,
2020 year, we beat the Rams, we beat the Browns. So, something always happens, or at least one game the New York Jets take. And
right.
based on what we've talked about this week, I just had a huge feeling back in May that the New York Jets' crazy upset was going to be against the Green Bay Packers. I
Really? Okay.
tweeted it. I marked it at it's my pinned tweet right now. You can go to my Twitter profile. It's going to be there. And I've still stuck with that prediction. I was kind of making my preview video saying maybe the Jets lose this game, and I was like, no, I'm sticking with my prediction. I'm sticking with
Okay.
my thought, and I feel like the New York Jets can pull this game off. I've been saying it since May. So my
Okay.
score prediction, 20-14. Might seem a little low, but I like to keep my score predictions a little tame. How about you?
25-20 Jets.
Amen.
Now, the running back duo, though. Are you scared about the running back duo? Are you scared about the Packers defense? Their O line? You scared what Rodgers going to do? What LaFleur's going to do? Tell me about it.
Well, the running back duo is kind of really the only thing that scares me. As I said, I do really feel like the New York Jets can prove to everyone that this Packers defense is a little overrated, based on the way with Hall and Carter, based on how they've been playing, and, with Zach Wilson being back. I just feel like we can have a Vikings like week one performance against the Packers defense. I mean, it might be a hot take, call it a bold take, but I definitely feel like the New York Jets are in the position to do that. And Aaron Rodgers, his receivers he's playing with in this game aren't exactly amazing. Christian Watson hasn't practiced this week. We're going to have to see what his injury status is like. He's not that
Right.
Allen Iverson type of player. McDaniel said, Howard and Armstead said, because, Watson's, he's a rookie. So I don't really think he plays unless he just randomly gets healed up. But the New York Jets definitely should be scared of Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. I'm scared of them, and I do feel like they are able to have over 100 yards rushing in this game, but I don't feel like they're going to run all over the New York Jets. And yeah, they're probably going to have a dominant first, second, third, maybe even fourth quarter. God forbid it's not a fourth quarter. I feel like they're going to look really good in some parts of the games, but I feel like when it matters the most, the New York Jets are going to be able to stop the Packers running backs, and I don't feel like Green Bay's running back duo is going to be able to run all over us, and we are able to stop them to an extent. I
Okay.
do feel like the Jets, defensive line, we've been playing really good the past 2 weeks, and I've been saying Carl Lawson, as he gets healed up from this Achilles tear, he's going to get better and better. Quentin Williams has been as consistent as ever. So, I just feel like this Jets defensive line is going to be able to force some pressure on Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I'm feeling really good about this game. I really do feel like the New York Jets can go in Lambeau and keep this road winning streak we have right now alive.
Do you think so? Lambeau, it's a tough place to play. We all know it's a tough place to play. But for me, we've always played good at Lambeau, and we've always played good against the Packers. That's just in our recent history that we always come out. I mean, when's the last time we could say this? We have potential to go 4-2. We potentially could win 5 out of these next 6 games. and the Bills the only one that I'm only worried about, but they got injuries of their own. This is not only a big game, this is one of the biggest games of the turning point. Last week was a turning point, but I think everything we do for now on each week is going to be a turning point. Because if we can win against the Rodgers and we can win against Wilson, like a lot of people's heads are going to turn. They're going to pay attention to us, and they're going to probably eat their receipts. That I have a more of a word for that, but like I'm excited. I'm excited. Lambeau's a tough place to play, but if we can just continue to not be injured, 25-20 is where I'm at.
And as you were saying, we've always played good against the Packers, or at least recent years. I can't really remember the only time. I haven't been a Jets fan for too long. I've been a fan
Yeah,
since 2015. In that time span, we've only played Green Bay one time. That was in Sam Darnold's rookie season. We choked that game, but we put it into
right,
overtime. Packers sadly were able to win that game. But the New York Jets, we came out in that one. We were huge underdogs. But with a
right,
rookie quarterback in Sam Darnold, with who knows who our receiver was in that game, Robbie Anderson. I mean, the New York
right.
Jets definitely were not a good team, but we managed to come out. And I was looking back on the Jets Packers recent games. They do have a 3-game win streak on us right now, but the New York
Right.
Jets were able to keep all of those games close. They weren't necessarily blowouts, and pretty much all of those games, Green Bay was the better team than the New York Jets. And there's also a good rivalry in this game. The Packers head coach Matt LaFleur is, of course, the brother of our offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur. Robert Saleh was the best man at Matt LaFleur's wedding.
Right. Yeah.
Like, they're best friends, and of course they're going to be super competitive this week. So if you don't think this team has ever been wanting to win a game more, I mean, Robert Saleh, I mean, you always want to beat your friends in anything. It doesn't
Oh,
matter
for
if it's a
sure.
Madden game, fantasy football, you want to be competitive. So expect this Jets team to just be absolutely livid, but you can also say the same thing about the Packers. Now I got a little fact for you right here. So I was
Give me a
on the Jets. I have a weekly show at Let's Talk Sports on, about the Jets. The Bakken show came in as a special guest yesterday. He's a huge Packers fan, and he was saying that Matt LaFleur has never lost back-to-back regular season games,
right.
which is definitely interesting to
It
say.
is.
But I feel like the New York Jets can definitely change that. I mean, losing back to back weeks against New York teams, I mean, the New York Jets are, prime position, I feel like, to just take this one away from the Packers, especially with how, Green Bay's, been playing the season. Hasn't exactly been the best. The Jets have a lot of momentum, just
Right.
take that. But, what do you think about, Matt LaFleur winning never lost, back to back regular season games?
I got nothing to say though. This is gonna be his first time in a long time that he's gonna lose back-to-back games. No, anything could happen. It's always down 0-0-0. Anything could happen. We always keep it interesting in the last 7 minutes of the game. So, like, I totally get that stuff. That's cool. But, like, I really have a lot of confidence going in this game, and it will be a big reality check if we lose this game. But at the same time, though, if we go 3-3 and then win against the Broncos, then I'm like, okay, I'll take that too. I will. We're such in a really good position right now to take advantage of this, and we can knock Lafleur off his game as well, like because the chemistry is just not there with everybody.
Honestly.
So that's what I think.
you know, this week is just going to be a huge game for the Jets. As you said, it's going to be a turning point. I'm going to be watching. I know you're going to be watching. I know everyone who's in the stream right now is probably going to be watching. Hopefully, it's just a good competitive game. If the New
Mm-hmm.
York Jets can show life against the Packers, that'd be
Right.
huge. And if we can win,
Right.
obviously, it'd be even bigger. So this game definitely is going to be a turning point if we win. And as you were saying, the schedule ahead of us is super favorable. I mean, everyone's been
Right.
tweeting about it this week. All the beat reporters been saying the next 3 weeks for the New York Jets could be huge. Connor Hughes said if the Jets can win our next 3 games, we're making it to the playoffs. When has Connor Hughes ever tweeted out anything positive about the New York Jets?
I don't even know. There's and Rich Samini too. I mean, there's just been a lot of that going around. a
Right.
lot of that with both things. It's like people are shocked with us. People just don't know what to say, and they're just not. They're not there. No one's there. We've always got dissed. So it's we just got to keep turning heads. Just got to keep turning heads.
And let's just take a look at the schedule. I know we both
Yeah,
know
go
it,
for it.
but
Yeah,
kind of just reality, kind of win picks right here. So we both think the Jets can
right,
beat the Packers. That makes our record 4-2. I'm pretty
right.
sure we both think the New York Jets can also beat the Patriots and the Broncos.
Yes.
Definitely. So win against Green Bay, 4-2. Next two, 6-2.
Yeah.
6-2. Insane. Then we play
Insane.
Buffalo, week 9. Who knows how their injuries are going to stack up at that point in the season? But I'm feeling a loss right here.
What? Where?
Week 9 against Buffalo.
Yeah, I can see it. I gotta see where their injuries are at, but I think overall, yeah, I think it's going to be a loss.
So we both think 6-3 after Buffalo, heading into the bye. Week 10, week 11, we play the Patriots. Now, I actually said in my prediction video, it's in Gillette Stadium. It's a tough game, but the Jets have
Right.
looked better than New England this season, and I
Yeah.
do feel like that is the game we could win. Definitely
Right.
making us.
Right.
I would say you agree.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They're still figuring stuff out too. And if they get on a hot stretch, I totally get it. But if we could continue our hot stretch, it's gonna be a good game.
And of course, never count out Belichick, but the Jets are just a better team. So 7-3. We
Right.
play the Bears. They have. I do feel like they're kind of an overhated team. All of their games they've lost, it's been by 1 point. They've also not by 1 point, one possession. And all the games they've won have, kind of been close to. They played competitive in, every game this season. But at
Right.
that point in the season, the New York Jets are going to be our team. We're going to have a lot of playoff momentum. And, this honestly could be considered as a trap game with Minnesota being the next team we play. But I just
Right.
feel like Chicago, that's one for the Jets.
Right. Right.
So,
I agree. I agree. Fields is going to be dangerous. I know he's got some good chemistry with the wide receivers and running backs now, but overall, if we get shut down Fields and because they're all lines, it's night and day with that all line. So I'm predicting that's going to be a win as well.
so 8-3 going into Minnesota.
Mhm.
That's
Wow.
huge. We go
Wow.
ahead. Vikings.
Minnesota is always a tough game for everybody. Minnesota is always one of those teams where they will fight till the very end. You've seen it time and time again in their last 3 years. So I think it's going to be a tough loss. I think we're going to lose that game.
I would agree too. I mean, Minnesota right now is 4-1. They're going to have a lot of momentum heading into this game. It's
Mm,
in Minnesota. I just don't really feel like there's I mean, it could be a win, but to be honest, I just feel like that's a loss from the Jets. And then week 14, Buffalo, I'm going to go ahead and say that that's a loss too.
yeah. Well, is that a MetLife?
The game is in Buffalo.
Okay. Well, don't we have a game against them at MetLife, right? Yeah, we always do. Like one.
Right, yeah. Well, the week 9 game's in MetLife.
Man, I just got to see where we're at because it depends on how this team is. I mean, we always at least. I was thinking with the Dolphins, we beat them twice. We beat the Patriots twice, but I think we can either we'll lose both games or we'll win against one against the Bills.
Right. So Buffalo, I'm kind of feeling a loss right now. Of course, it depends on how we're doing. So potentially 8-5 heading into week 15 against the Lions, and the stretch from week 15 to week 17. That's a
Mm,
lot of wins for the New York Jets. It's the Lions, it's the Jaguars on prime time, and then it's the Seahawks. Of course, Geno Smith's been playing lights out. That Lions offense is crazy. Jacksonville's just been super inconsistent this season. We'll have to see how all of those teams are at that point in the season. But I do feel like the New York Jets can also definitely win those games.
I agree, 100%. It's going to come down to like I keep saying the injuries, and where we're at as a team. And if we're not calling for Salah and Olbrook's head, I don't think we're ever going to call for Salah's head yet. But Olbrook, if he could just adjust the defense and LaFleur, if he could adjust the offense too, I think they'll be around, but it's all about timing. Timing is everything when it comes to the NFL. Your losing teams can restart to become winning teams. Your winning teams can start to become losing teams or just be in the middle of the pack and barely reach 500. Like you just never know with the National Football League. Every week has been very different. These last 3 years, no, 5 years, have been so different with all kinds of talent that's come out of college. And once they get that together and the rhythm together, like the New York Jets, you scare people. You scare
Right.
people, and it puts you on blast, puts you on notice. So I hope we can go 8-5. We just got to see where we're at.
So we're both feeling 11-5 heading
Okay,
into
I
that
like that.
Week 18 matchup
Is it
against the Miami
17?
Dolphins.
Is it 17? I think
18
17.
final game of the season against Miami. I
I
get
thought. Wait,
the
wait. Is it seven? It's 17 games, right? Not 18 games.
It's 17 games, but the bye week, so it makes it
Oh,
18
that's
weeks.
right. My bad. My bad. Yeah.
All
You
good.
know, I mean, shoot. You know what? It's gonna be. I think we'll win. But the only thing about the Dolphins is they if they have chemistry going. I mean, we can't ignore the Dolphins and Jets are the future of the AFC East. You can't
100%.
ignore that. Patriots are going downhill, and then you have the Bills. The Bills have 2 to 3 years to do something because they need to pay a lot of players. We still have 3 or 4 years where we could spend a little extra money. So, like, and the cap's only going to continue to go up. Buffalo and the Dolphins at the end of the year is going to be scary. Like, I think we can win, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling like it's just on the edge. It's, how Miami is at the end of the season, too, is definitely
Right.
going to be back. And, I
Right.
thought the Jets were going to lose, last week against Miami. Even with Teddy Bridgewater
Gotcha.
playing, I thought that was going to be a close loss for New York. And, it just, I'm kind of feeling a little on the edge here because, of course, it's week 18. That's a long time away. The
Mm-hmm.
Dolphins could completely have fallen off of earth. They could definitely be looking like a completely different team by that point in the season. The New
Right.
York Jets also could be looking like a different team. So it just, who knows how we're going to look by week 18. But to be
Right.
honest, I do feel like this is a loss by the Jets just because, I feel
Okay.
like, but, you think the New York Jets could finish 12-5. I think we finish 11-6. That's absolutely
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
That's, of course, playoffs. I mean, the New York Jets team are just in a great direction right now.
Yeah. Let's continue it. We got to see where we're at. We got to see if we're on a hot streak. If we lose, we got to bounce back. It's a roller coaster of a season, but I do now I feel good about it. First couple of weeks, 3 weeks, kind of scared. I think Jets fans a little bit, and I know me and you have talked about it. So I hope it continues to go up.
Definitely. So, this is going to wrap things up for us on the stream.
Yes, sir.
Anybody wants to comment anything right now, give your thoughts, definitely would be huge. And don't forget to support both of our channels. You can, of course, find all of our information at the bottom of the screen right here. And then you can also find all of our social media links in the description down below. But that's all I got for myself. How about you? Any closing thoughts?
Guys, we are the Jets Duo Show. We do this every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time. Jude is a great guy, man. I love doing this stuff. I love collabing. I love doing this stuff with people, and it's gonna be awesome. Can't wait to talk Jets with you every week. Support us both, and jet up, baby.
This is the start of something huge. And, we do have a comment right here. We do have a comment. Oh, it was
It
it
was
was
me.
you. Yeah. But definitely
Um,
appreciate everyone through commenting throughout the stream. Aunt Jets 82, thank you for commenting. John, thank you for continuously commenting throughout the entire stream. The support from everyone who was watching today was huge. The max views we had in this one was 9, and hopefully we could hope to see that number grow, or if not, just appreciate everyone that's coming in the streams each and every week.
Appreciate you guys.
But that's going to do it for me. Thank you guys for tuning into the stream. We will be back next week on the show, but of course, we will be uploading content, and from the time right now until next week. But that's going to do it from us today. See you guys later.
Jet out, baby.